Good evening. This is week 51 of 2024 and this is the Knitting News and my name's Annie. It is evening as I have had quite a sociable day with guests, which was very nice. So the other night at knitting, Jill was working on her Louisa Harding, I think it is, the pink tunic. What happened was it was the wrong size. She'd probably done the back and half the front, and kept thinking, I don't think this is going to fit. And I think it was to do with the yarn being a different 4-ply than the other yarn that she'd used previously. So it wasn't working out right. I don't know if it was too small or too big. I can't remember. I think it was too small. So she started that again, but she only had, she had to go back to the, there's a lace that's knitted sideways and then you pick up your stitches. So she had to go back to the lace and had a few more rows to make it wider. That was it. And then picked up her stitches again. So that's what she's been busy with. And she's made her opium cardigan that I have mentioned, which is the opium yarn is kind of a cotton or a cotton mix that goes thick and thin. And she made one previously and wore it out. So she found some more on eBay or something, some more yarn. And she's made another one. But it's black. So you know what black's like. So when she was sewing it together, she hadn't realised that she had one piece inside out, so the inside on the outside and the outside on the inside. So she had to unpick that and get some really good light to do it properly, to get it right. So I think she did it at the library because she goes to a knitting group at the library, so she did it there. Helen has been making some gifts. She made a card with a sprout on it. And she made, I think this was requested, a toilet roll cosy. A Christmas one. Or it was a big surprise for somebody who used to take the mickey out of one they had at home. So it's a kind of a surprise one. And I think she's added the bits of decorations around the antlers. I don't think they were on the pattern, but they could have been. It's all think and not think, isn't it, at the moment? Actually, lucky I'm here. Well, you're kind of lucky if that's what you want it to be. So I was looking for... Well, I'll tell you about what I am wearing first, and then I'll tell you about what I was working on. So I am wearing a very scratchy, sparkly little evening cardigan that is at least 30 years old. It's kind of like scratchy lame. I think you call it lame. And this won't stay fastened, this button. So my nanny, who taught me to knit, looks better than open anyway, doesn't it? Quite a few decades ago, who also has not been with us for quite a few decades, made this, and it's at least 30 years old. It's probably more like 40. And I have worn it for nights out, but the nights out are a little bit more rare now. But if I did, I might wear it. Because nobody else is going to have one, are they? I do have one or two things that she made, but not many. But I do have some of her needles and row counters and things. So it was a toss-up between... I wanted something sparkly for my Christmas edition because it's Christmas Eve today. So, Merry Christmas, everybody, because I won't be seeing you again until afterwards, unless you watch me on tomorrow night, Monday night, which won't be night where everybody is, but if you check in with Neil, Blocked Magazine, we're doing a little Christmas show. This is my other sparkly item, which is one of my faves. Obviously, it's a ranunculus. I have got some more, and I do think I might wear it more if I made sleeves. So I might make some. I might knit some sleeves, even though I don't like knitting sleeves, especially in the round. That looks all right, doesn't it? Layered up. It was made for Shark Week last year because I had the time. I knew I'd get it done. It's my most knit jumper, but it's not exactly my favourite. It's just so quick to do. I am drinking sleepy tea. I can't remember what the ingredients are, but it's very nice. Right. I was working on the strawberry blanket, which isn't very much bigger than it was, but it might be a few rows. That just needed one pushing through. So that's kind of, I just pick it up and do a few rows every now and then. My daughter has persuaded her boyfriend that he could wear a hand-knitted hat and it wouldn't be too itchy and it would keep his head warm. So she asked me to make one. And I said, well, you could have given me a little bit more notice. I know it's only a hat. And I have a house full of yarn. But I did nearly run out and find some really soft merino. But as it is, I have used 2 strands of Rowan felted tweed and made him a hat in not very much time, even though I said, no deadline knitting, no stress before Christmas. I got thinking and thought, well, you know, I can do one. And this is a pattern that's called David's Hat. That's what it's called. It's called David's Hat. It's on Ravelry. It's free. So it's not for David, but it's called David's Hat. You can see I was using up bits. So it's all navy, and then for this section I've got 1 strand of navy and 1 strand of a paler blue. And it's really quite... I was thinking of blocking it. I think I will. I think I'm going to give it a little hand wash because I think it'll bloom a little bit, and it feels quite soft. But it's not like superwash soft. But I didn't really want to use superwash because, well, I didn't have the appropriate yarn. And it's floppy, isn't it? It's not like, it doesn't keep its shape. I think it'll fit because, start again. It's got plenty of give in it. I might make some more because it didn't take long at all. So that's a gift. The other gift's finished, but I can't show you that because someone might see. Let's just stick this back on. Right, another drink. What have I got here? I showed you this before. All I've done is unwound the white off the end, and I've started a cuff. I haven't bothered with that much, but I've got it on flexi flips or something similar. I think they're Addy, and I think I've dropped a stitch. So I'll just give that a tug. I'll sort that out after. This has survived for 30 odd years because it is not edible. It's just, there's not a hole in it. It's just perfect. Because there's no wool in it. But we did have a little bit of a moth issue. And I have got some moth traps and they all got moths stuck to them. And then when the weather got cold, my daughter had a look for a hat or something. And she said, I think there's been bugs in here. And when I looked, there were moth pupas, little pieces of wheat. And it was a mess. So I flung the basket out and all of the hats and the gloves got put in the washing machine, even the leather ones, and they've all come out all right. So I think I've got rid of them. And the damage was localised, should we say. So this is alpaca. And actually I do find alpaca is a little bit itchy. So you can see where they've been. I didn't wear it that much. And I did make it years and years ago. And I just made it up. So I could do it again with something softer. Maybe. Like Suri alpaca. Or Andean mist, which is the softest yarn I've ever worked with. It's just divine. I can't remember what all the fibre content is of it. But Andean mist, it is American, I think. It's on eBay, but it's all in America and it's expensive. But I have found some here before now. Now this is kind of my favourite 4-ply hat, sock weight, and it's a slouchy sock head by that. Can't think what she's called. Woolly worm head, something like that. And I've been wearing it without realising I had holes in the top. So I've been like a moth-holy little old woman. That's what I felt like when I found that. I am going a bit grey. So yeah, I'm going to fix that too. In fact, I'm still wearing it. And I've got a crochet one that I'm still wearing also. And that has a little bit of a hole in it too. I think that's about it for this week. So I haven't got any deadline knitting now for gifts. Just have to give that a bit of a wash. Yeah, none of it's deadline. And I might be about to start something really exciting for myself. Who knows? I do have some. Now, I made strawberry shoes. I did put on my Instagram, which is a Stitch in the Sky, I did put all my baby knits that I've done so far on a post. But I do think that I need to do some smaller strawberry shoes and a small strawberry hat, because I think we're having like a newborn photo shoot or something, maybe. So that's two things that I might be doing soon. Oh, I did tell you what Helen had made, but I didn't tell you what she was working on. She was working on a little scarf for one of the teddy bears, and she was working with 2 colours and doing, is it double knitting, where it's joined together, where you take the yarns backwards and forwards. And she watched, I think she watched a video, or she read some instructions and mastered the technique while we were all sitting talking. And I've never done that technique. It does look a little bit fiddly. But it it was very nice. So that's what she's busy with. And that is gift knitting. But it's only for a teddy bear, so she should get it finished, shouldn't she? I would think so. Fee didn't get there because she's now poorly. And next week we're going to meet on Friday instead of Thursday because Thursday is Boxing Day. But we still feel like we might want to escape to our knitting group. So that's it for this week. Have a lovely Merry Christmas, or a nice, peaceful, quiet one, or whatever you would like your Christmas to be. I hope it is. And I'll see you next week with more news. Bye for now.